Witness explains to Eli Crane what gender transition animal. This is going to take priority over what I was going to talk about next because what? Let me read this first. At today's House Oversight Committee hearing, Justin Goodman, Senior Vice President at the White Coat Waste Project, spoke to Rep. Eli Crane about the tax-funded use of animals in gender transition experiments. What? Before I even hear any of this, I'm going to say, like straight up, there is there is no explanation. Hold on, I need to cough. There is no explanation that anybody could give where I'd be like, oh, okay, I get it for something like this. There's literally zero. The only way someone would ever approve this is if they were fucked up in the head and they wanted to trans humans and they were looking for justification in their fucked up research to do this. Which again goes back to my initial Trump needs to open back mental asylums. And instead of taxpayer funded animal cruelty and transitioning animals with tax money.
Thank you. I would now like to recognize Mr. Crane for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Ms. Chairwoman, for holding this hearing today. Thank you guys for showing up. It was just yesterday in an oversight hearing that I asked Chairman Comer if we could get some therapy dogs up here because of some of the meltdowns that were going on. I had no idea I'd walk into this hearing today and see three beautiful beagle puppies, and I've noticed that my mood's already improved. So thank you guys for bringing them there. I think we should make it mandatory. We also talked about in the oversight committee hearing yesterday that some of the ridiculous programs and initiatives that need to be cut from our bloated government. And it seems like a lot of these studies are just another example of our senseless, out of control spending by bureaucrats who never really get held accountable.
That's actually, I really want to hear this, but just real quick, that's actually the only reason I could see this happening is someone looking for a justification to spend money. Whether like, if we don't use it, we lose it. Like, oh, here's an idea. Let's fucking transition animals for reasons.
I want to start with you, Mr. Goodman. You said you have estimated over $20 billion in taxpayer money wasted on ineffective animal research. Is that correct, sir?
Yes.
Wow.
Wait, hold on.
$1 billion.
How much?
Control spending by bureaucrats who never really get held accountable. I want to start with you, Mr. Goodman. You said you have estimated over $20 billion in taxpayer money wasted on ineffective animal research. Is that correct, sir?
20 billion with a B? I thought you said million. That's why I had to rewind it. With a B? Wasted?
Yes. Wow.
Which, by the way, that's wasted. That's not how much has been spent. That's just what's the fall off of what's wasted, which is what?
Mr. Goodman, did you also say that it was your estimation that $241 million was spent for transgender animal testing?
241 million. I was thinking it was going to be like 2 million. 241 million.
Yes, and that's, I would say, is the floor, not the ceiling, because the information on federal databases is not, it was pretty incomplete.
So you think we're going to find out that it was much more money than that for
Yes.
transgender animal testing?
Yes.
What?
Can you describe what exactly the American people's taxpayer dollars were spent on regarding transgender animal testing?
Yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, if Trump goes out and has a speech and mentions this and says the previous administration was approving this, like, I don't think Democrats would ever win another election in their life. Like, what? What?
In a lot of these cases, they're involve mice, rats, monkeys who are being surgically mutilated and subjected
why? Why can I'm sure everyone here is very curious, but I am like, I just want to jump to the end and be like, why would you do this? Why? Is there like a medical reason, like for some sort of disease? Like I cannot even think of it.
To hormone therapies to mimic
Yeah, same here. Agent.
female to male or male to female gender transitions, gender affirming hormone therapies, and then looking at the biological, psychological, and physiological effects of the gender transitions.
Okay, so their rationale for doing it is to try to find out if it emotionally affects them, which hey, let me just give me the money. I'll let you skip a few steps and say, yes, it's going to traumatize and just don't do it. Like, just give me your money. Don't do it. You can just give me half of it. Actually, you can put the rest towards giving back to the American people. Just listen to me. Just don't do it, and everyone will be happy. There's literally nothing good that comes from this. Like there's not an outcome outside of a psycho that thinks that there's an outcome. There's no reason to do this ever.
Looking at the effects of taking vaccines after you've transition these animals from male to female or female to male, looking at the size of their genitals changing after you've put them on estrogen or testosterone therapies to transition them. And in the case that the chairwoman, the example the chairwoman gave, there was a $1.1 million grant to give female lab rats testosterone to mimic transgender male humans and then overdose them with this party drug to see if...
Bro, that dog in the back looks like he's seen some shit, by the way. I feel bad for him.
Animals who were taking female animals taking testosterone were more
right,
likely
01,
to
yeah, exactly.
overdose
The poor
on
dog
the
in
sex
back.
party drug than animals who were not taking testosterone.
Wait,
Animals who were taking female animals taking testosterone were more likely to overdose on the sex party drug than animals who were not taking testosterone.
What?
Mr. Goodman, are many of these taxpayer-funded animal studies shared with the public, or is there a significant oversight of this research?
You essentially needed a degree in information technology to navigate the federal spending databases to find any of this stuff.
So what you found is we're not being very transparent with what we're spending these funds on.
Not at all.
Of course not. Why would we be
Did you say
transparent?
that Dr. Fauci, in your estimate?
Fauci shows up. Dude, I'm telling you, Fauci, the more I hear about this guy, the more I'm like, this guy's going to go down in history as like the second generation fucking Hitler. And I'm not even exaggerating.
Estimation had funded close to 95% of these animal research projects.
Yeah, in our analysis, Dr. Fauci funded about 95% of the transgender animal experiments.
Holy shit. Holy shit. What?
Okay, I found in some research that the EPA under President Trump is planning to reduce the agency's animal testing by 30% by 2025 and completely by 2035. Mr. Goodman, can you explain why that's a win for the American taxpayer?
Absolutely. Animal testing is incredibly...
Right. He was pardoned, of course, before he even got indicted on anything, which is totally not suspicious at all.
time intensive, inaccurate, and expensive. And it's not very good at predicting the human health effects or environmental effects of...
By the way, can we just take a quick sidebar here? Where the fuck is Fauci? That guy was on CNN 20 hours a day, every day for like 6 months. Like everywhere I looked, I saw Fauci. And I'm like, who keeps platforming this guy? Why is he the source of truth on a virus that nobody knows shit about? And everyone's just like, hey, we don't know anything about this. You seem to know something about it. So we'll just keep platforming you and just trusting whatever you say.
Chemicals and pesticides. And right now, what we are doing to test human effects is poisoning lab animals, forcing them to breathe wildfire smoke simulated in a laboratory by burning different types of foliage and pumping into animals' cages, making them obese to simulate what it would be like for obese people to be exposed to wildfire smoke, shooting off handguns and rifles and forcing animals to breathe the emissions and gun control experiments, and the list goes on. And that's what's happening currently at the EPA after the Biden administration overturned the Trump plan to phase out animal testing.
I mean, here's the thing, like, not to get political, but if you voted for Biden and you hear this, are you like questioning your vote? Or you're like, yeah, I'm sure there was a reason for that. That's totally not questionable.
Mr. Goodman, one more question. You've also been outspoken about the COVID-19 outbreak stemming from Dr. Fauci's U.S.-funded research at China's Wuhan lab. What are the public health risks if we continue some of these outrageous animal studies?
Asman definitely needs to see this. I agree.
We're flirting with disaster if we can.
Actually, I guarantee you, Asman will react to this. I guarantee you he will. This is insanity. Shout out to JWatt for the find. Holy shit.
Continue to fund dangerous virus research, both abroad, like in Colorado, where Fauci greenlit this bat lab. They're trying to import hundreds of bats from Asia to build a new lab in Colorado to do virus experiments with
Sure, bring it to Colorado. What could possibly go wrong?
Ebola, Nipah, Lassa, deadly viruses for which there's no cure. It's just a matter of time before we have another pandemic on our hands if we let mad scientists run amok with our money.
Thank you.
They really are. They are modern day mad scientists. And because no one knows a fuck about science and politics, they're just like taking the word of these psychos. And they're like, sure, you sound like you know what you're talking about. Here's the infinite money glitch. Go kill everyone. Like, what could possibly go wrong? This is fucking Resident Evil come to life. The fucking Umbrella Corporation is going to be showing up in Colorado.
I yield back.
All right, I will now yield.
Wow. JWatt says it gets worse. Dude, that's the end of the video. I don't know how worse it could get. Are there more? Because yikes, what did I just witness? I feel scarred for life just witnessing that 5-minute hearing on taxpayer-funded animal cruelty. What the fuck? How do I... What? I don't even know what to say right now. I'm like so thrown off. It is Resident Evil in real life. Holy crap.